Hello, hello, people. Testing, testing. Mic check. Hold on. Let's see. That's a little bit better. Hello, everybody. Or no. Oh, crap. I'm missing a ring. Hold on. I'll be right back. Whew. Okay. I'm sorry. Whew. I'm glad I muted because had y'all heard me running around just like a chicken with my head cut off, I took my ring off to put some lotion on and I couldn't remember where I put it. So if I didn't go get it right away, there was no finding it again. It would have just turned up when it turned up. Okay, hello, everybody. Good evening. I was supposed to say good night, but that wouldn't be right, correct? Like, hi, Nicole. Hi, Jen. Hi, Reindeer. So I didn't start with music to give people, 2 to 3 minutes to get in because I actually wanted to be like super like self-censored and rant about something completely unrelated to our topic until it was time to get into it. Okay. So hope everybody's doing great tonight. Drop a comment in the chat. If you're new, let me know where you're watching from. If you're not new, still drop a comment anyway and say hello. As you guys can see from the topic, we're going to be talking about what it can be like dating and potentially having sex with loose skin after some significant weight loss. Now, I'm going to do my best to reserve my opinion to the end. And the reason that I intend to do that, hey, Holly, I got your email, girl, but I've been running around like crazy. I haven't had a chance to respond to it yet. But hello, Delilah. Hello, good evening, good evening. I'm going to do my best to reserve my opinion to the end because one, I'm not in the dating field, even though this could apply to anybody, right? In a relationship, in a marriage. But we're specifically talking about dating because it can be a little different when you're meeting someone new after significant weight loss, right? How do you explain to them about the loose skin? Do you bother explaining? Is it something that's like a disclosure, or do you kind of just like wing it until y'all get into the bedroom and see how they react? Is it a conversation beforehand or no? That's the type of stuff that we're going to get into and how weight loss has affected your life sexually or in the dating field, right? So, hi, Sushi Fitness. I got this from Michael Kors. Um, it's like a watch clock. I never use it to tell time, but I try to make sure I don't wear this and an actual watch at the same time, just so I don't get called out. Like, why are you doing that? But anyway, thank you, Sushi Fitness. Um, and it's good to see you tonight. Okay, so we're gonna talk about all of that, but can we like? I'm starting off with a sidebar, okay, guys? Like, can we just talk about me for a second? So, I decided I had a little bit of time before the stream, and by a little bit, I mean like 2 hours. Okay, I had a little bit of time before the stream where I decided I was going to, for the first time in a while, actually sit down and watch some TV. Okay, so Holly, when I say I was too busy, this was a part of that. Like my phone was nowhere to be found. Okay. So, guys, I decided, cat. I wish I could turn this camera. Cat, sir, sir, meow, sir. Can you please, pretty please, get down? Come here, Dennis. Hello, Dennis. No, okay. We're just gonna hope you don't knock any of the picture frames down. Whatever. It's his house. He can do what he wants. If he wants to jump on top of stuff, he can do that. I think he's looking for food though. I just fed him and he's like looking for stuff. But anyway, so real quick, sidebar before we get started, give people a chance to get in so they don't miss the beginning of the actual topic. I'm just going to sit here and talk about what I was doing. So I decided to watch TV for the first time in a while, and I actually got back into the show 911. I think there's 8 seasons, and I'm on season 7. So if you've seen the show and you're not caught up, spoiler alert, turn your ears off, turn your volume down, leave the video, come back. I don't care if I lose a viewer or 2 or 3 or 7. Okay, spoiler alert for season 7. So I'm watching the show and I'm like really into it. So first things first, we're on a timer tonight. because I'm super excited to get back to my show. Like, I'm so excited. And you guys know Angela Bassett is like my mom. She's my Hollywood mom. So I love watching her on screen, but there was a huge cliffhanger before I had to run and get on here. So you guys are lucky that I love you. Okay. There was a huge cliffhanger. My mom's house got set on fire. It was so bad. And then like her husband just like falls out from a heart attack. It was crazy. So I'm really excited. I just had to share that. I'm really excited to actually get back to that after I'm done with this. And it's making me, it's giving me good feels, right? Because sometimes we got to take some time for ourselves. Okay. So as you're coming in, please like the stream. Finishing skincare. Yes. Okay. Again, another sidebar. So Nicole, I sort of kind of have like a pre-stream skincare, right? I have the morning and I have the evening, but if it's a stream day, my morning skincare is kind of like fading away by the evening. So I'll do a pre-stream skincare and then I'll do it again after I get off. It may seem like too much, but I don't know. I just kind of feel like coming on the stream fresh, but it's not my complete night routine. So I'll do it again. Like I'll do the full routine when I get off, but consider it like a touch up. Okay. So I have to go back in later after I get off of here. Okay, enough of my sidebar. How are you guys doing tonight? Hello, hello, hello. How are you guys doing? So if you, in case you missed it, before we get into it, because I don't want to share it later when the topic starts, today's Andrew's birthday. So if you haven't gotten a chance already, when you get time later, just make sure you go to the community tab and tell Andrew happy birthday. He may be like on vacation or something. I don't know because I haven't seen him in a couple of days. But I'm actually not hoping he joins us tonight because this is not a child-friendly topic. But if he does, you know, we can count on like Delilah or Journey of Life to like put their hands over his ears. Okay. All right. Something is better than nothing. Hello, Carrie Ann. Hello, hello, hello. Okay. So there's a poll going on. If you haven't already, make sure you vote in the poll. The question is, has significant weight loss changed your dating or sex life? Okay. Now, so far we're at 18% says yes, 36% says no, and 45% says the jury is still out. So if you haven't voted, make sure you go ahead and do that. Now, like I said, I kind of want to reserve my opinion for the end for several reasons. One, I kind of want to know what you guys think first about the whole dating and sex topic when it comes to loose skin specifically. When I thought about this topic, I went to Reddit, okay? Because I haven't had this experience myself because I'm still losing weight. So I don't have I'm not speaking from a position of experience like, oh, I went through this in the dating field when I had to deal with loose skin, or I met a person that had loose skin. And this is a unisex topic, right? Men go through this, women go through this. And when I went on Reddit, I found both men and women talking about their dating experience, loose skin, whether they're the ones that have the loose skin or their partners are the one that has the loose skin and they're really struggling with that and trying to figure out how to deal with it. This is a hard topic. I would have liked it to be fun, but I don't know how it's going to turn out. Okay. I mean, you know, we've been a little lit over here, but this is a tough one because I'm not going to lie. When I started reading the Reddit threads, they were a little sad. You guys feel like being sad tonight? I don't know. Can you guys take it? Because I kind of want to read some of them, but you know, Reddit, they're super long. But it's a little sad, okay, because some people are really out there struggling. And what I really want to get to the bottom of by the end of this stream, and then we'll revisit this topic of dating and sex after significant weight loss several times, but one position will be from the position of skin loss, and then we'll change the position that we're looking at it for another stream. But what I want to know is, has anyone experienced this, whether it was you or the other person you were dealing with? If you did experience it, or if you did, if you haven't experienced this and you did, how would you handle it? Because this topic came up as a result of the question, courtesy of Jen. Is Jen here? Did I see Jen already? I did see Jen. Okay. Courtesy of Jen. The question was, if you're dating someone and they think they're dating like, you know, a naturally thin person, woman or male, right? Whatever. And then the reality is that they're dating a form of fat. So that comes with loose skin. How do you deal with that? Like, how do you reveal that? Is it a reveal? How do you discuss it? Do you discuss it? Right? Like that's the question that that's the question that we're trying to answer. I haven't been with anyone in 10 years, so IDK. You don't know how you would handle that hypothetically, like if you were put in that position. Okay. I watched a video about a guy who lost 100 pounds and talks about his dating with loose skin struggles. It was so sad to watch. It is very sad. I was in tears watching it. I don't want to see. Okay, so what do you okay, so y'all seen a video regarding this. Okay, so we can approach this from a couple of different ways. I also have a video that Nicole sent me about another content creator that is planning to get a tummy tuck and um some other plastic surgery. She has met her goal. I think some of you may know the content creator. Her name is Thank You Lex, right? Thank You Lex. And she has done a video. How old is this video? It's only 2 weeks old. She's done a video showing a 360 of her body and the type of work that she wants to get done. So we can approach the whole dating and loose skin thing from like I would hate to say a body positivity because y'all know how I feel about that. I feel like body positivity is fake as hell. But I think the Lex video is actually quite interesting. Or we can be real about it and talk about how difficult that situation could be. Because a lot of us are going to be in that position if we aren't already. A lot of us are going to be in that position if we aren't already. And it doesn't matter if you're a male or a female. Well, I think for him it was different because he's so young. He lost it like 16 or something, and he's not yet 30. Did I see the one you sent me today? I saw the email, but I haven't had a chance to watch it yet. But it's the actual surgery. Girl, I have that phobia. That's the fear of blood. What's that one? I got this. I don't know if I'm going to watch that video, Nicole, because I clicked on it and all I saw was somebody's entire abdomen is exposed. And I was like, later. I was like, I don't know if I need to see that because like we wouldn't want me passing out now, would we? We wouldn't want that. Do y'all? I'm not even going to show it because when I tried to click on it, it said it was age restricted, so I had to literally go to YouTube to play it because it wouldn't even play directly from my email. Hemophobic, I'm one of those. That's like very close to homophobic. Hemophobia. I'm that. I got that. Okay. So I don't necessarily want to see any blood, organs, tissues. It was like this. Like that person's abdomen, I'm pretty sure it was like. And you don't tell a person with agoraphobia. I mean, you only got to look at the spider for like 45 seconds. It's not how that works. I don't want to see it at all. Like, I don't want to see no blood. Now, I'm not going to lie. I have watched surgeries before, so I probably can get through it. But I was like, what the fuck did Nicole just send me? What is this? But I was into my shows, watching my mom, so I couldn't really get with it at that time. Okay. All right. So now the poll has switched. Has significant weight loss changed your dating or sex life? 50% says yes. 46% says no. 38% says the jury is still out. Okay. I'm pulling cap on some of y'all. Now, let me tell you why, right? We're just going to wing this because I don't want to make the stream too sad, but I also don't want to be super disingenuous, right? Because you never know who's struggling with this issue. So we're going to talk about it and we're going to see. Yeah, I said agoraphobia. I'm sorry. Arachnophobia. I did say agoraphobia. I'm sorry. But arachnophobia. You're correct. But so we don't know who could be struggling with this, right? So we are going to talk about it from an honest standpoint and see if we can come up with some reasonable, actionable solutions, potentially, even if a lot of you aren't going through that. Some of us are going to be in that position. Now, the whole significant weight loss thing not changing your dating or sex life. Is it because y'all are married? Or is it because you're not dating or having sex? Which is fine if that's the case. But in my mind, even as a person in a relationship, I expect like my 100 pounds to affect or impact my sex life. But I'm really trying not to make this about me. Like I'm really trying to like leave the parts about me until the end. So it's like, okay, maybe I should define significant. 80 pounds or more. I cheated because I'm only at 60, so I wanted to leave myself out. I wanted to leave myself out. You know what I mean? Okay, so if it hasn't, are any of you concerned that significant weight loss would impact or change your dating life? For example, right? We talked about loose skin. Loose skin ain't only what you can see on the physical body, right? Apparently, some women, some females are having issues with loose skin occurring in other areas. Are y'all picking up what I'm putting down? I can say it. Like they're having like loose skin around like their vagina, vulva area is like getting loose on them. Now, I'm not asking any of y'all to reveal if you're having that problem, but I'm just saying, right? Like that's something to be of concern about. And I heard that a lady talked about getting that snatched. I don't really know how it works. Should I Google it? I don't know. I'm not really sure how it works, but she got it fixed. She got it tightened or pulled or lifted. Sh- She got something done. And I'm not laughing as in like, haha. I'm laughing as in like, you better, I would do it. I'm I'm laughing as in like, I would do it. Oh, I said it. Yeah, not the food, but like the vagina. Vulva and or vagina getting right. So it could be loose skin as in your belly, your thighs, your arms. Um, Sushi Fitness says my worst loose skin is in behind, like in your behind, like the loose skin on your butt. Her JJ did get a makeover. She got a coochie snatch. I think that that's appropriate. I think it's appropriate. If we can get our waist snatched, why can't we get that snatched? Why not? Okay, when I say I would do it, not necessarily, but I understand the sentiment, right? Like I understand as a woman, I understand it. I don't know if men suffer from this. Men now, y'all don't gotta put yourself on blast. I might have to look it up a little bit, but I don't like. Okay, so like, what? Oh my god, could the men get like loose skin down there? That's I kind of feel like I need a man that's on terms to like have that conversation, but I'm gonna try to be mature about it. Okay. All right. Because this is a unisex conversation. Okay. So do y'all think y'all can handle a little bit of the Reddit? I've never ever thought about it. Fupa as in fat upper pubic area. That getting loose? Yes, the butt. Yes. Yes, very much so. Down below. Some women are having a loose, but see, here's the thing also, right? Here's the thing about the loose skin thing. And this is where being in a relationship could come into play. Let's just keep with the feminine area example. So I don't gotta keep saying vagina. Feminine area, right? Imagine your partner notices, but you don't. How do you have that conversation? Imagine they know because I mean, dare I ask, are y'all check? Are we checking? I haven't checked. Respectfully, okay, all right, I'm trying to leave myself out of it. But like, how would you know? Does your partner tell you? Or is it like so obvious that it's hard to miss when you're like washing or wiping or something like that? Like, is it so obvious that you just can't miss it? But how do you know that that's happening? That it's like how do you know? I don't know. Yes, they can. I met a few guys who talk about that happening to them during weight loss. Should I Google it? Okay, you know what? Okay, I'm gonna read a little bit of this Reddit thread, right? Because the one that I picked is from a man, but I didn't finish it. And maybe he's talking about having that problem. Oh, he recently talked about that? What was the conclusion? My ex-partner said I look better in my clothes than naked. I've had that said to me before. I was younger, but I've had that said to me before. You said X, so I don't want to ask if it was recent. Is this before or after the weight loss? laugh at him and say, "Oh, we're calling out body parts," because let me tell you. Okay, we're gonna wing it and we're gonna try. It gets bigger. What gets big? No, it don't. That was not the result. Wait a minute. Hold on. Hold on. Okay, wait a minute. We're talking about loose skin. How could having loose skin in the groin after a previous weight loss? He said that. Good thing he's your ex. No, Holly. No, but you no. Okay. I asked about men having loose skin in the groin after weight loss. Holly says this was already discussed, and I asked what the result was, and the result is that it gets bigger. How does that even work? Dare I ask? I don't know. But anyway, right? So we can talk about it from the female perspective and the male perspective. The question is, let me do it in a poll. Yes. Yes. I've had it said to me, and I was younger. He's also an ex. Yeah. Men. Um, so let's do this. Let's end this poll. And let me just ask. Should loose skin be disclosed, or is it just something that's like, no, it's natural? You don't, it's not something that needs the disclosure. Um, disclose. Disclosed? Do I have to specify to a date or a love interest? Do I have to specify, or y'all kind of know? I feel like I don't really want to put it depends, because I feel like that gives y'all a way out of answering, for real, for real. For real, for real. I feel like that gives y'all a way out. Okay, go ahead and vote in the new poll. Stop listening to me, phone. Sheesh. Okay, I think I need to think more about this because I never considered the need to discuss it. Okay, all right. Okay, all right. So you'll see. You'll see. Okay, so let me get through some of this thread, because I'm hard pressed to find like a good one. Okay, so here, matter of fact, I know what to do. Here's what we'll do. We will read the Reddit thread, right? And if it turns out to be too heavy, we will transition to Lex's video, because Lex is a bit more upbeat, whether we agree with her or not. My date will hopefully fuck around and find out. Hey, Pat, let me ask David what he thinks. Did I ask Tommy about this already? I should remember. I don't think I did. Holly says no. Hell no. Okay, so I asked my cousin, and my cousin's answer was a whole lot of it depends, right? So my cousin would fall into the it depends category. Like, how, like, it was kind of like, well, how loose we talking? Or it's like, well, like, I mean, leaning more toward it to be all right. But there's levels to this, right? When we talk about loose skin, and this is not to criticize, this is more to have an honest discussion. People go through this. Don't believe me? I'm about to get into it, okay? Should I share the screen? I mean, it's not like y'all are going to read along, but just so you're not looking at me run my yapper, I'll go ahead and share the screen so I can share the thread. Oh, no, I really don't want to share. Oh, how do y'all feel about Reddit? Is not private, right? It's a public platform. But I feel bad about putting the person's name out there, like username. But why would I feel bad about that when it's public information? It's a very hard question to answer. Huh. Oh, thank you, Sydney. Hi, Sydney. Hey, girl. Hey, girl. I'm glad you made it. I definitely said this was going to be on Saturday, and then wrong time he changed his plan, so I had to change mine. Hello, everybody that's coming in. If you can please like the stream and leave us a comment, go ahead and vote in the poll and let me know what you think in the comments. I really want to. Okay, all right. I'm just gonna share it. I feel bad because the person's name is gonna show, but what do you guys think? It should be okay, right? It's public. Like, anybody could look this up. Okay. All right, so let's do this. Let's do this. Oh, and if you have any, it's my birthday, guys. You're late to your own birthday, Andrew, because we already posted about this in the community. So if you haven't seen it already, leave the stream, go to the community tab, and see your happy birthday from this morning. You're very late about your happy birthday, Andrew. Everyone's already over there wishing you birthday. Okay, so happy birthday. I hope you were very vain today. And this is not the most PG topic, but it's also not the most like age restricted topic either. So just kind of hang out in the background. But I hope you enjoyed your birthday. All right. You will close your eye. Holly. Fairy godmother. Show it. Okay. All right. Okay, cool. All right. It's pretty long, but I'll go ahead and show it. I'll go ahead and show it. All right. Share screen. So let's do this. Okay, because why not? Let's do that. All right. So I'm gonna zoom in because I can't see either, right? Okay. So you guys can see that. All right. You don't have to read it because I'm gonna read it out loud. I'm gonna read it out loud. So you guys do not have to read along. It's just there in case anybody has good enough eyes to do so. Okay. So I'm gonna read and stop because it's obviously pretty long. All right. And I did not proofread this. So whatever happens, happens. All right. I read the title and I read the first sentence. So it says, dating with loose skin is hard. I need help. So I'm a male. I lost 164 pounds. Congratulations to them. I'm 32. I really believe I'm going to be single forever and it's getting me down. You see why I said this stuff is kind of sad? It's hard. Okay, but let's keep reading. Oh, I have terrible loose skin and it's making dating hard. I read through so many threads on here, a lot asking why loose skin was better than fat. Have y'all heard that before, that loose skin was better than fat? Have y'all heard that? I haven't necessarily heard that, but let's continue. And there were so many answers, and I agree being a normal weight and looking decent with clothes on can get you in the door. Loose skin will make some people walk out fast. Okay. Since having lost the weight, I've had sex with 2 women. One was visibly horrified by how I looked, despite saying she'd be okay with it. When it came to the other, I decided to try and wear a compression top and not take it off during sex. I'm not going to lie. Okay. I'm not saying that that's the answer, but I was wondering if people would attempt that, right? But I don't necessarily want to make it seem like I was saying people shouldn't take their clothes off because that's by no means what I'm thinking. But as I was thinking about the issue, I'm like, I wonder if people would just try to like have intercourse with their clothes on, or at least partially on, right? Not saying they should, but I was wondering if some people would do that. And it sounds like this person attempted that. So let's continue. Um, so I decided to try and wear a compression top and not take it off during sex. She insisted I did, and I didn't want to make her uncomfortable, so I did. Have not heard from her since, and honestly, when I look at myself in the mirror, I really don't blame them. I don't know what kind of cat it is. That's the thing about trusted house sitters; they don't specify unless you ask. But it's a beautiful cat. Um, so what are we thinking so far? I'm gonna continue, but what are we thinking so far? Um, Most people out here talk about it. They even quit weight loss because they're afraid of the loose skin more than fat. Wow. It is a Reddit post. It is a Reddit post. I have a family member who does that. She would not let her husband see her naked. She wears a full body suit that is crotchless. Is it because of loose skin? I know, like it's sad, but we need to talk about this. Okay, we're gonna do another poll. Sorry, we have to. We don't have a choice. Okay, last poll. Not last one for the night, but the last one that I did. Should loose skin be disclosed to a date? 25% said yes, 44% said no, 6% said jury is out, and 25% said it depends. Okay, ending poll. We're gonna start a new one. Um, okay, I'm sorry. I decided to add an extra option. Mm, okay, there we go. All right. So, have you heard this topic discussed in the GLP-1 space? Yes, on YouTube. No, never. No, never. Outside of YouTube, yes. Okay, because this is gonna get deep. It's hard, right? But people have to go to Reddit, which is not a bad resource because people talk to each other. You can find a lot of answers on Reddit, a lot of information. But like other than Reddit, where can you go to talk about this as a man or a woman? Where can you find community about this? So I just want to know, have like, am I just late? Have y'all heard people talk about this before? If so, go ahead and vote in the poll. Um, yup, they've been married more than my whole life. And yes, it's because of loose skin. Okay. More backstory to the original question. If a man meets me, he doesn't know I was fat, so he thinks he's getting a skinny when he's getting a fat. Should I tell him? Right. And most people said no, cousin. Sorry, Jen. My cousin must be thinking about me. Cousin, are you watching? So about disclosure, most people said don't disclose. Okay. Y'all let me know. A full body suit, that sounds uncomfortable if she wears it all the time. Does she sleep in it too? Steve Harvey said his wife sleeps in a full face of makeup and she never lets him see her without it. So she sleeps with it. And he was proud of that. Like, yeah, my woman always looking good. I'm not sure Cindy only knew she wears it during activities for the bedroom kind. Okay. All right. Go ahead and vote in the poll. I'm going to continue. I know this is hard. I know it's heavy. I know it's hard. I know it's heavy, but we're going to continue. So, okay. All right. Okay. Okay. All right. Okay. Oh, okay. All right. Let's do this. We can do this. We can do this. Okay. Wait, who v what? Steve Harvey. Steve Harvey's wife. Steve Harvey said his wife goes to bed in a full face of makeup. Full face. She does not allow him to see her without her makeup, and he was very proud of that. So let's continue. All right. I see so many myths on here about loose skin. Only shallow women and men will care. Is it wrong to want to be attracted to the person you're with? Yes. Wait, what? Hold on. I missed something here. Hold on. I missed something here. I missed something. I see so many myths on here about loose skin. Only shallow women and men will care. Is it wrong to want to be attracted to the person you're with? Oh, okay. Okay, so this goes with the shallow comment. Okay. Is it wrong to want to be attracted to the person that you're with? Yes. All looks fade, but a lot of people don't get into a relationship thinking about how life's gonna be at 70 onwards. There's so many attractive people out there. Why settle for one who isn't? Yes, it'll fade eventually, but it might be 30 or 40 years until it does. I think he's saying that people are saying that. I don't think that's how he feels. Right? I feel like he's saying that's what he's seeing on Reddit. It goes on to say, he's not really quoting the way okay, he's singular quoting. Okay, whatever. Women don't care about looks in the same way men do. It's more about personality, is what he's saying. They say. Maybe this is true, but there's a difference between not valuing looks as highly as certain men and not caring at all, is what he's saying about how he feels. More than that, being able to overlook disgusting baggage. It's a bit of the language is a little strong, disgusting baggage, but this is how he feels. So, well, women don't have perfect bodies either. No one does. No one's perfect. Get off Instagram. Hearing this said time and time again, weight loss threads makes my blood boil. Do people assume men worrying about their loose skin have never seen a woman naked in real life? I have. Before I gained the weight, I was with women of all different shapes and sizes. Before I gained the weight. Okay. Some of whom had given birth to 2 kids. And let me tell you, there's a difference between the odd blemish, uneven boob. I have that. Little big of maybe he meant little bit of saggy stomach, those kinds of imperfections that Instagram airbrushes out to create a false standard of beauty and the imperfection that comes with losing 164 pounds. I don't even look like a human with my top off. I'm going to pause. Okay. I'm going to pause. I'm going to pause. Okay. I have a question. I have a question. I have a question. Being proud of weight loss is one thing, right? But loose skin for some are a part of that process. And you can be proud of your weight loss. But if you are proud of your weight loss, this is a question. I'm going to save my opinion for the end. If you're proud of your weight loss, does that mean you have to be proud of your loose skin as well? Because it's a result of where you came from. What do you guys think about that? I'm going to have to repeat it a few times, potentially. That's insane, but I would probably do the same. Wear a bodysuit that disguises loose skin. Man, I don't know, Nicole, but over 50 years of marriage, I knew a woman who never let her husband see her without makeup. She would sleep in her makeup and always get up before him and wash it off and reapply before he would get up. Oof. Yeah, that's a little long to be doing that, Delilah. I know people who don't poop in the house when their partner is home. It's weird when we are embarrassed by natural things. I know two people who don't even let anyone see them without makeup. They won't even open up their house windows. It's a little weird. I think I would disclose about the loose skin and ask them if it's a deal breaker. That was almost in the title of Sushi Fitness. That was one of my title ideas. Is it a deal breaker? Hello, MVP. MVP says, hi, Vanity. If there's a lot of loose skin, I think people should disclose before sleeping with someone so they're not surprised by it. It's a part of being honest and vulnerable. Okay, so MVP says yes to disclosure. MVP, I don't know if you missed the poll, but we did do a poll about disclosures. And most people said no, but you're one of the ones that said you should disclose. Okay. All right. He doesn't look like a human with his top off. So what does he look like? I think he's being a bit like hard on himself. But let's not okay. Before I even say that, let me just show y'all what I was finding when I was Googling images, right? Right. We don't know what he looks like, right? But let me show you the most extreme example that I saw and see what you guys think. Don't make me okay, I'll show you the most extreme example I saw, and then we'll come back to the Reddit post. Because in case you're wondering why a person might feel like that about themselves, even if we don't feel that way or the person that they're dating doesn't feel that way, I'm going to show you the most extreme example that I saw. Not that this is the most extreme example that exists, but it's a pretty, I don't think this is most people's reality, but let me just show you guys. Okay. Oh crap, go away. There. Oh, I'm sorry. Hold on. Where is the picture? He lost over 300 pounds, I think. Okay. And this is not to be mean or demeaning, right? But this is a what I would consider a severe, and he has muscle. He has muscle. But this is what I would consider like a severe amount of skin. And it doesn't look like he has a lot of body fat. So if he got it removed, if he ultimately got it removed, one, I don't know. But if he did get it removed, it seems like they wouldn't have like a lot of fat to work with. So I don't know if that makes it easier or not. I would think so based on like Dr. Now and my 600-pound life. But he lost 300 pounds, right? So this is not somebody any of us know or are dating unless y'all know him. But I guess the point that I'm trying to make is when the other person says, you know, he feels like he doesn't look like X, Y, and Z. I guess that he's just trying to express that I guess his body is not average. Like or abnormal. Like this is not a normal image of a person, despite what we may think. This is not a normal, what you would normally encounter. This is like one of the exceptions, right? So maybe that's what he's getting at with his choice of words. He doesn't, you know what I mean? I don't know. But let me go back to the Reddit post. Yep. Let me go back there. And then I'm going to get caught up on you guys' comments. MVP, what's a lot? That's the question. I don't think anybody can answer that. Man, this is making me scared to see what I'm going to look like in 350-ish pounds. Son of a gun. And that's another thing that I didn't want to do. I didn't want to scare people, but I also think that's why it's important to talk about it, right? No, I'm not proud of my loose skin. I hate it. Okay. Yep, they are afraid someone will see them. That's not funny. Hi, Kim. I don't think you have to be proud of your loose skin to just accept that it's part of who you are. Okay. The question, okay, so for anybody that hasn't heard the question, should you be proud of your loose skin because you're proud of your weight loss? Shoot, I'd be proud of other people and what the loose skin means, but I don't know how I feel about myself. It's not a part of who I'm going to be, though. Okay. No, Delilah, I'm not. I would like to be told about that. Okay. All right. Is that the type of surgery you're having in November? No, my consult is on the 5th. I rebuke this image of myself. I'm going to be fit and firm. Yes, ma'am. Well, that's the thing. The point isn't to sidebar. I'm getting kind of like, I'm getting the munchies a little bit. And the homeowners left me some chocolates. They are dark chocolate, sea salt, and caramel, and I haven't opened them yet. So I'm going to open it now because I kind of need a bite. And it's gluten-free. So, I love Ghirardelli. As soon as you open the bag, you can smell them. But so the point isn't to scare anybody. And like I said, I think he's an exception, right? Like, you know what I mean? Because there's plenty of people that do have significant amounts of loose skin. Oh my God, look at that. That is, oh God, so good. There are plenty of people that have significant amounts of loose skin, but people that have less significant amounts. Now, another question, right? Since Delilah asked that question, I have a follow-up question. And then we'll get back to the Reddit thread. Oh, this chocolate is so good. Oh my God. Oh my God. It's so good. My fat girl is showing. Oh no. Oh my God. My fat girl is showing. Okay. Okay. Have you heard this topic discussed in a GLP-1 space? 30% said yes on YouTube. 50% said no, never. And 20% said outside of YouTube, yes. Okay. All right. Oh my God, it's so good. Oh God. Oh God. This is, oh God, it's good. Okay. So Delilah said, am I gonna look like that? And I had a follow-up question that I wanted to do in the poll and I forgot what it was that quick because I was having like a chocolate gasm. It's so fucking good. Oh my God. I can't believe I let this bag sit here for 2 days. Oh, okay. Y'all can tell I haven't had dinner. Can y'all tell? I'm sorry. Oh my God. I'm talking with chocolate in my mouth. That's gross. But whatever. Okay. I got distracted. So, Delilah said, am I going to look like that? And I said, the point isn't to scare anybody. And I had a poll question. It'll come back to me. I'd want to know about that before someone disrobes. Okay, so now that we've seen the example that I gave, which is one of the more extreme ends, right? Because there's this spectrum, right? There's levels to it. Now Sydney says, I don't know what her vote was before, but Sydney is being clear, or Jen as well said they would want to know, right? They would want that level to be disclosed. Okay. If the excessive skin is a problem, then I would just have surgery. Most insurance will pay for it if your activities of daily living aren't affected. Now, Pat, I was wondering about this because in my mind, this was my answer, right? Again, I'm saving my opinion overall, but this was my answer. But I'm trying not to come off as like just saying that should be everybody's answer. But in my mind, just get the surgery. Now, my cousin made a point that it can be expensive and maybe not everyone has the means. Most insurance will cover it, but what if your insurance doesn't? Or what if you don't have insurance, right? But in my mind, not easiest, but one of the most obvious answers is to get rid of it. Because like, why do you have to keep your loose skin? Who said we have to keep it? Who said we have to keep it? I don't know. I remember I had to scroll back and look at Delilah's previous comments. I remember what poll I was gonna do now. Wow, this chocolate is like, oh god, it's so good. Oh, it's so delicious. Okay. So not avoidable. Okay. Okay. Can the severity of loose skin be managed? Is that the question? Can the severity of loose skin be managed? Let's try. Let's try that. If I think of a better question, I'll ask it. But what I want to know is like, because people treat loose skin as if it's inevitable, right? Hey, G's, how are you? People treat it as if it's inevitable. So is it? Is it inevitable? Is it inevitable? And if it's inevitable, can it be managed? Can the severity or the amount be managed? Or is it just like, if you got more than 100 pounds to lose, you're going to need skin surgery? Like, let me know what you guys think. It's really hard to get your insurance to cover it though, Pat, like extremely hard. Runs to open, get some M&Ms out of the freezer. Frozen M&Ms sounds delicious right now. Oh my God. They sound delicious. Oh my God. I was in like it doesn't matter. I was in like a keto group or something and they got on me about M&Ms. Keto people are so bougie. Anyway, you should put those chocolates in the freezer. I'm gonna go put a couple in there right now. Hold on. Okay, that little intermission was Sydney's fault. I definitely went to go put some in the freezer, but I still have some here. Oh God, they're so fucking good. Okay, thank you, Sydney. They say that, but it's ridiculously hard to get more than peniculectomy. I don't know how to say that. I don't. Care credit, debt. Debt is one way. Care credit, is that a credit card for care? Now, I couldn't say the word that Delilah typed, so I have no business laughing about her logic about care credit. I have no business laughing about that. No business. A problem for you and VA, problem for insurance is completely different. I must be missing something. StreamYard might not be showing me all of the comments, but if you haven't already, please like the stream. Care credit is a payment plan for health costs. Prevented. Oh, I didn't know that was such a thing. Chocolate bar, sidebar. Yes, I put them in the freezer. I worked for an insurance company who denied surgery for a patient, and her plastic surgeon told her to get sandpaper to create irritation on the skin. Surgeon took more pictures, and insurance covered it. That is, I will not say anything. No, I don't think it's inevitable, but prevent. Okay, so that was based on my question. I'm sorry, I'm behind in the comments. Okay. No, I don't think it's inevitable, but many people act like it's 100%. I have a cousin who had weight loss surgery, lost like 150 pounds, zero loose skin, zero. I agree with you, Delilah. People act like it's unavoidable. Okay, people act like it's a guarantee. It's not. It's not. Now, does it depend on how much weight you're losing and how long you've been at that weight? The longer you've been at that weight, the more stretched out your skin would be. I would say, honestly, this is, I don't want to give my opinion yet. I agree with you, Delilah. People do act like it's a guarantee. It's not. And I want to say for people that have, I'll even give you 200 pounds. Between like 200, I'll say 150. Okay, 150 pounds and below, it's a toss up. It depends on your method of weight loss, but I'm not going to get on my high horse about how I think you would slow it down and all of that. I don't think it's a guarantee, and people do act like it is a guarantee. I am gonna love them. It's gonna be delicious. I'm sorry, but I'm not taking parent sandpaper to my skin. That's why I was like, I have no words. MVP says the severity depends on age, genetics, how quick and how much weight loss. You can try to mitigate, but ultimately, I don't think you can control it 100%. Nothing is 100%. My brain says care credit caregivers, and she was older when she lost it, like 45, and she was fat at least 20 years. So she can, I can. Okay, I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna give my opinion on this. Okay. And then we'll go back to the Reddit thread. So let's use MVP's comment. So the severity depends on age. Absolutely. So to blanket, right? Not MVP doing this, but in general, when people blanket and say that you're going to have loose skin, that's not necessarily true. It depends on your age. It depends on how quickly, like MVP said, and how much weight loss, right? Does slower guarantee no loose skin? No, but it is a mitigating factor. It just is what it is. How much weight loss? The amount of 400, a person that has 400 pounds to lose is more likely to end up with loose skin than a person that has 80 pounds to lose or even 125 pounds to lose. But that doesn't mean everybody that loses 100 pounds or 125 pounds doesn't end up with loose skin. I'm just saying that it does depend on the amount of weight as well. Now, you can try to mitigate, but ultimately, I don't think you can control it 100%. Nothing is 100%. Not even your weight loss is guaranteed. Like, you're not even guaranteed to lose weight 100% of the time, right? Or maintain it or keep it off. Me, myself, I yo-yo dieted for years and never had an ounce of, like, if you don't want to call it loose, sagging skin, right? Like I never had a jiggle. But when my weight gain exceeded a certain point, coming back down was a lot different. My body composition was a lot different. So that's my take on that. Can it be prevented? It depends. Prevention, I have ideas on prevention, but I don't want to get on. I'm gonna just put it out there. I think fasting is preventative for loose skin. I do because there's plenty of people. That's why I gave up to 200 pounds. There's plenty of people that fast away 100, 200 pounds and they have zero loose skin. It's not a guarantee, but it's, from what I understand, it's the most preventative method. But I'll let fasting go for that. Now, Pat says, I know people in the carnivore community that lost over 100 pounds with no loose skin. They credit the protein. It could be the protein. Now, carnivore would not quite be fasting, but it's damn close because of the effects that you get from the lower insulin, but whatever. Yes, but carnivore was a wonderful example. And oh no, V, she didn't fast and still doesn't. Fasting isn't the only way. I think it's the best way, but it's not the only way. People can hide loose skin though, or not admit it. Should it be admitted? Now we're back to the question of disclosure. Should you disclose it? Is it appropriate or not appropriate? Would you want to know? And then what would you do, right? Because I think when I asked the disclosure question, people were answering based on whether or not they would disclose. But when I showed the guy, then the answers were kind of like, oh no, I'd want to know about that. So it's like, would y'all want people to disclose, but then you wouldn't? Or like, how do y'all feel about that? I was 300 to 43 for less than 8 months, but still 8 months out of 44 years ain't that bad. Oh Lord. I know a few people who lost over 100 pounds, mostly through fasting. They have no loose skin. Zero, zilch, zada, zoom, zang. Like, it's not there. And every time, me personally, but I'm not an example for everybody. Every time I lost weight based on fasting, nothing. Not even so much as my skin was like this. My skin was like this. It wasn't until I got on the GLP-1, and the GLP-1 didn't cause this, but like, changing up my strategy. Just like I could never do this before. Never. No, I mean in a carnivore community. You can also have loose skin in certain areas and not others. Yes, I would want the person to disclose. Okay. All right. So let's continue on with the thread. Okay. Oh, this is a good one. This is a good one. Okay. So we left off at I don't even look human with my top off. So this is a good one that we're getting into. So, quote, loose skin is a battle scar. People will appreciate the strength. I asked about this with the pride thing. I think that this is baloney. But let me it don't matter what I think. Let me get through his point. Loose skin is a battle scar. People will appreciate the strength. Yes, it did take strength. And yes, losing the weight was hard. But it's like smashing a plate and putting it back together and expecting people to admire the cracks. Interesting. It's your fault those cracks are there. Same with loose skin. It doesn't show people how strong you are, just that at one time you were willing to do such harm to your body. That's an interesting take. I would disclose moments before intimacy. Okay, so you would wait until that point. I'ma just need to find another form of fat. I thought about that as well, Jen. I thought about that as an option. Like, hey, what if y'all both have loose skin so y'all get it? Or what if they had surgery but you haven't yet, so they at least get it? Like, right? Like they understand. You think this is BS? Okay, let me read it again. This. You know what? I actually think this. I mean, okay. The fact that he's having a hard time is sad, but there's a lot of nuggets in here. So let's read this again, right? Loose skin is a battle scar. People will appreciate the strength. Yes, it did take strength, and yes, losing the weight was hard, but it's like smashing a plate and putting it back together and expecting people to admire the cracks. It's your fault those cracks are there. Same with the loose skin. It doesn't show people how strong you are, just that one time you were willing to do such harm to your body. He had me up until like the last couple of sentences, right? So with the quote, right? People saying loose skin is a battle scar, people will appreciate the strength. I'm calling bull on that. This is where fake body positivity pisses me off. This is where fake body positivity pisses me off. Being body positive on the behalf of other people. Now, if this person was body positive and said, I love my loose skin, look at it, and I don't care nothing about it, Lex. Okay, we're gonna get into if we have time tonight, we're gonna get into Lex. But being body positive on the behalf of others and saying that other people's loose skin is not a problem because it's a battle scar is bullshit. It's bullshit. This is why I asked the question, do we have to be proud of it? Because I don't think so. I've lost 60 pounds. I have some sag going on, but not necessarily loose skin yet. The jury is still out for me and my body. People always say, oh, you're young. Oh, lift weights. Oh, okay, great. I understand all that. But if I had loose skin, if I end up with loose skin, me personally, I don't see that as a badge of honor for me. I don't see that as a badge of honor. And I don't blame people for not seeing that as a badge of honor. Like, who said you have to be proud of something that you find to be unflattering? I found being obese unflattering. I wasn't proud of that. So I don't have to be proud of like being completely on the other end of the spectrum where yes, I'm at a normal weight, so I'm proud of that, but I still don't feel good in my skin. I don't have to be proud of loose skin if I don't want to be. I don't have to. If I want to get it cut off, I'm gonna get it cut off. If I want to compress it to death, I'm gonna compress it to death. Like if I want to find another form of fat so that we are relatable, you know what I mean? That's how I feel about it. Question, is loose skin uncomfortable or easily irritated? If it is, I would want to have it removed. Correct. I'm gonna treat my body like Japanese treat broken pottery. Kintsugi? I don't know. This body right up. I don't know. Loose skin that rubs will have some irritation. I agree with that for myself anyway. I don't feel the need to be all like, look at my loose skin. Like Amy and Half. If she likes it, I love it, but I don't see like why we have to. I don't feel the need to be proud about it. But let's continue. But we're a little vain over here. Like, to be clear, for those that don't know, like, we are a little vain over here. So I'm perfectly fine being like, I will lose weight until I feel the way I want to feel physically and I look the way I want to look physically. You know what I mean? Like, I'm perfectly fine saying that. Um, hey Lori, how are you doing? So yeah, using gold to fix broken pottery into new art. Oh, that sounds beautiful. Oh wow, I have to look that up. I meant the harm statement, not the proud part. Okay, all right. So let's continue on. It says, quote, just get surgery. I don't know what dream lives you guys are living, where you have spare 10 grand laying around and can just get 6 weeks of work whenever you like. But a lot of people do not live that life and never will. Okay, so now getting the surgery has come up. What do you guys think about his answer for that? People say just get surgery. That's what I said. And I understand there are financial barriers. I'm saying that's what my answer would be. By any means. If I felt this bad about it, that would be my answer. By any means. Now, he's saying, okay, like, yeah, people say that, but it ain't that easy. What do y'all think about that? Is it just like, okay, it ain't that easy, so forget it? Because I would imagine losing 365 pounds wasn't that easy either. I mean, I get that kind of money ain't easy to come by. Okay. Yeah, true. But he did say he was young. I think he said he was like 30 or younger than 30 or something like that. So like, and he didn't mention having any kids or anything. So I don't know. So in my mind, I'm just like, you can't, and maybe this is just me being naive or tone deaf. So you guys can let me know. But it's just like, there's no amount of work that I wouldn't complete to get 10 grand for a surgery if I felt this bad about my loose skin. And weight loss is not going to fix it because you've already lost the weight. So it's like, I don't know. I don't know how I feel about his answer of like, nobody, like, people just don't have that money laying around. Most people don't. A lot of people have to save up for their surgery. Nicole thinks it's worth it. People often can't even get major surgery because they can't pay for it, and skin removal is elective. So I get it. Okay. If I felt the way he does, I would move mountains to have it removed. That's what I'm saying, Sydney. That's how I feel. But that doesn't necessarily mean it's the correct answer. That's just how I feel about it. I'd work a second job, if it meant that much to me, because caused me all that angst. I would work 3 jobs. I'd work 3.5 jobs, especially if I didn't have any children. So I get it. Now, if you're 75 and but this person said they were younger. That's why I'm just like, okay. I have mixed feelings about the surgery route. Do you want to tell us more, Jen? What are your mixed feelings? I work 2 jobs and save like hell to pay for that surgery. I'm that vain. Period, Pat. That's how I feel. I'm that vain. Like, wouldn't be a job that was above me. Hell, I've worked 3 jobs for less. Cybersecurity, a hostess, and driving Lyft. Like, at once. So I've done it for less. And I'm not saying that everybody's capable of doing that. I just think that leaving the ball at, well, I don't have that money. It's not that easy. It's just like, okay, tell us a little bit more. Like, are you opposed to the extra jobs? Is that off the table? Like, if so, say that. Are you disabled and not able to work extra? If so, say that. Like, why is the money off the table? It's not like, because some people would spend, I think Jen sent me someone that lost, I think maybe over 300 pounds, and she spent about 40 grand on surgeries and she looks amazing. I'd spend it too. Don't ask me where I'd get the money from. I'd work. I'm young though. I can say that. So maybe some older people wouldn't have that benefit. I'd work and or take on debt if I had to. If it was affecting my life that much, just like if I had, I don't know, like I don't know. I don't want to seem like, I don't know. Not everybody has access to credit, so I get that. But I'm finding a hard reason to take working extra off the table. That I'm having a hard time finding that. Um, in what way, Jen? They don't call it vain for no reason. The internet makes it seem easy, but I think you might need to choose one or two. One or two what? Surgeries? Like for skin removal? Like not getting it all done at once? Pat says I'm 68 and retired. I would go back to work. Okay. I've worked 3 full-time jobs at once in my life, a seed place, Walmart, and a bank. It was so freaking hard, but I was in my 20s and wasn't yet chronically ill. It's whatever bothers the person the most. He really didn't say where the loose skin was, right? He didn't say where it was. So it could be in the midsection, it could be the thighs, it could be the arms. More than likely, at 365, nearly 400 pounds of weight loss, it's everywhere. I don't know. I don't know. Jen has mixed feelings about the surgery route because it may take multiple surgeries. I could see that. So 10 grand could turn into potentially 25 grand, 30 grand, right? I'm not sure the average person can have the breast, the back lift, the thigh lift, the tummy tuck, the butt lift, the arm lift. Then we should be talking more about prevention. If this is, and I'm not saying it is, but if this is where we end, we're going to keep reading and keep talking about it. But if this is where we end, right? The average person, I'm not sure the average person can have the breast, the back, the thigh, the this, the that, the this, the that, right? Which is reasonable, right? Maybe not the average. Even if we could get them the one surgery from working 3 extra jobs, the surgery is going to put them in downtime, right? Like he mentioned. So they may not be able to continue that for every single part of their body to look what he would consider quote unquote normal. But if this is where we end up, we should start talking prevention. We should start talking prevention. Like a real conversation about it and not just this umbrella of it can't be avoided. It's not true. It's not true. To some extent is what I will say. The skin removal surgeries do look traumatic and the recovery is long. I've seen several people in the GLP-1 YouTube streets talking about their surgical experience and they go through a lot. So if we end up here, they do get the surgery, but it's traumatic, long recoveries, you're out of work, mentally draining, financially draining. Not everyone needs all of those. The girl who spent 40 didn't have it all. Body dysmorphia. Post weight loss. And she's always getting pressure to finish. Yeah, but we don't care what other people think. We're vain over here. So that's an unrelated, that's irrelevant. We don't care what other people have to say. We care about what we think and how we feel because it's our bodies and we're vain. You know? 40K is like a down payment on a house. If you want a house, if you want to be a homeowner, sure. But I'm telling you right now, and y'all can call me crazy. But if I felt the way he did, at the end of losing, he said 365, but let's say I lost 125 and I felt the way he did. And I have 40K in savings. And I had a choice between putting 30 down, because let's say we saved 10. If I had a choice between putting 30 down on a home or 30 down on skin removal, and if I felt the way he did, not a little bit, like, oh, it's just a little loose. If I felt the way he did, like my dating life is over. It's finished. It's finite. If I felt that bad about myself, and that's not even to say the skin surgery would fix it, right? But I think that I would go that route. Sell the house for the skin removal. Me and Pat are here. I said I'm not buying the house. Pat said, hell, if I got the house got to go. Pat is crazy. And I think I'm crazy. Pat is worse. Pat is worse than me, guys. Pat is worse than me. Pat is way more vain. I need to get Pat a pink headband. Like, Pink nail polish. Pat, what is your address? I'm sending you a care package because you need a whole vein setup. Pat says, sell that motherfucking house. That skin has got to go. And I'm 68. I'm going back to work. I don't give a fuck. That's what Pat said. That's what Pat said. And you can get more than one surgery done at a time and save money. If I felt like him, I'd stay single and own a house. Oh, okay. That's one way to look at it. That is one way to look at it. Right on, Pat. Hallie is my fairy godmother, so I already know me and Pat gonna be on the same page. But it's ironic though. The older people that are commenting, right, like Pat, Holly, seem to be maybe Sydney, maybe. Don't let me lie on you, Sydney. Seem to be more on the end of like, yeah, damn all that. I'm doing what it takes. But like the younger, like 50 and under crowd is more like, I don't know what I would do in that situation. Like Jen. No, because even Nicole's like, figure it out, find the money. So I don't know. And I'm not against the surgery. We all know where my boob money met with. Let me cross my vein knee because Lola is not the only one with a vein knee. Okay. Lola is not the only one with a vein knee. She's the only one with a new knee, but we have this thing in common because I've had knee surgery too. Was it her right knee, Jen? I bet it was the right. Was it the right? I don't know because I had surgery on my right knee. Nicole is 41 and his team find the money. Pat is team sell the house. I'm team never get the house and get the surgery. Holly's on board. Now, Jen is, well, that's a rabbit hole because you may need more than one. Delilah is stay single and get the house. That is an option. That's not a bad option. It's really not. Are you selling your house to pay for it though? That's not the only answer. We're being facetious. So no, I would say Nicole is probably not doing that. The right. See, of course, like this. Like Jen's my spirit animal, of course. Like Lola's like right there, like spirit animal number 2. Like, of course, the right needs. Duh. Like totally. I know that. I'm 44 and I'm not selling my house for it, but I've been saving for it for years already. I think Pat was being a bit facetious, but maybe like slightly serious. Either way, downsize the house. Maybe is that an because I'm not a homeowner. That's why I said. If I had the 40, right? Let's say I want to save 10 for an emergency and I can choose 30 for the down or 30 for finishing touches. I'm honestly, but here's the thing, right? And I'm not supposed to be giving y'all my opinion, but this is the last thing I'll say about me. Truthishly, I'm out there. I'm going somewhere where I like if it's let's say everything he needed to be done is $30,000. We don't know. It could be less. It could be 15. But let's say everything he needs to get done is $30,000 stateside. And he works his ass off to save the 30. If that's me, or he only works his ass off and he can save 10 to 15. But what he needs costs 30. I'm taking that 15 and I'm going overseas. That's me. That takes extra thought, right? Because you gotta plan to stay for recovery and all of that. I'm going to a country that is renownedly known for plastic surgery that is a fifth of the price of the US, where you can get maybe 2 surgeries done and a stay with recovery and maybe potentially somebody to help you, plus your transport there and back for about $15,000. That's my route. But not everybody's willing to do that. But there are some countries that have better healthcare systems than we do. They have better reputations for plastic surgery than we do. And listen, I don't know, because it's hard to say because some people come from other countries and go here, like they come here to go to medical school. So it's not that our medical schools are necessarily bad. It's not that. It's just that for the quality of work, because of the, the country, like it's it's a lot cheaper and our American dollars will go a lot further. So for me, I'm catching a flight after tons of research and an advocate that could help me along the way. I'm catching a flight. That's what I'm doing. I'm not buying no new house after I get my surgery. That's how I feel. No, I'm just asking if she would consider it. I was thinking about it. I'm dead. See, I knew someone who got divorced for the 40K money so they could get your I'm starting to think you're making up these stories, Delilah. For the 40K money so they could get their weight loss surgery paid. So I do get it, but I'm just wondering who is willing to do what. I already planned ahead because I was so already prepared that I might need surgery in the end. Okay, so tell me more, Nicole. So we'll get through this and then we'll finish the Reddit thread. So Nicole has met her goal. Nicole, remind me what your current height and weight is because you're at goal. And Nicole is going to get a tummy tuck and has a consultation coming up soon. So Nicole, I'm asking you a lot of questions. How far in advance did you start planning? And do you already know the qualifications for a tummy tuck? So you knew when you got to a certain goal that you were going to be qualified or eligible? Or is it like you were just kind of like, when I get to this weight, we'll see where like let me know how you came to your conclusion about the timing of reaching your goal and then when the surgery is supposed to happen. How did you come to your conclusion on that timeline? I'm not putting a price on my health and happiness, whatever it takes. Excessive loose skin can affect your quality of life. I agree. Nope, it's the same person as earlier. I am so, oh my God, 5'4". So you're not that much taller than me, 150. Okay. How did you determine the timeline in which you wanted to get your surgery? While you let me know that, I'm going to go ahead and finish his thread. Okay. Finally, quote, get therapy. Great. Okay. But will therapy make those two women that want to sleep with me or be in a relationship with me? The best it can do is teach me tactics to being okay with the idea of being single for the rest of my life, which I guess might help. But in the end, I don't know if I'm ready to accept that. I don't know if my rebuttals to the standard arguments have merit, but after being rejected by two women, they're all I can think of. Does anyone have any arguments to my arguments or anything new to say to me? Anything new to say? Because I really need anything to keep me going. From reading a lot of these loose skin threads, I feel like people are living in a dream world or a Reddit fantasy because with bad loose skin, it's rough out there. Edit. I do want to add, I'm really not trying to stop anyone losing weight or saying it's pointless. I sweat a lot less, move a lot more freely, can handle this insane heat, and wear clothes I've always wanted to. Just I feel like a lot of things we tell ourselves about loose skin and dating may be a little too naive or optimistic. I'm just looking for something to help get me through this sinking feeling I'm going to be trapped and alone for the rest of my life. Okay, now I'm ready to give my opinion. They don't want you to have any visceral fat. My doctor told me to get under 155 and I said done. Oh, so you said I'm 5 pounds under, done. But how do they know? When you say your doctor, you mean the surgeon, like the place that you're going? Because getting under 155 doesn't guarantee a lack of visceral fat. So your consultation is about going to confirm if your visceral fat is low enough or zero. Is that what that's about? Because that's a guesstimate from the doctor is what I'm getting. Like, oh, get this low and we'll see is how that sounds. What can I say? I have crazy ass family and it's huge. 12 aunts, uncles. Yeah, many types. Pat, that's a great way to look at it. I wish I had understood that sooner in my life. Sounds like he's desperate for a relationship, so that changes things. He should do all he can to get it done. Okay, here's what I think. Okay. One, I think that this person made a lot of good points about the naivete of people that respond, right? And I'm going to read some of the responses because some of that is delulu, like, oh, it's a battle scar. Shut up. Shut up. Getting shot in a war is a battle scar. Loose skin, yeah, weight loss is a battle. That ain't no battle scar. That's like, I need you to go. Like your friend left, which was fat. I need you to go too. Okay. No, they take off about 10 pounds of skin and fat for people that lose over 100 pounds. Okay. So you already know that you're qualified, or do you still have to find out? Because I'm wondering if they're going to do a scan to check for the visceral fat. Did he say like he didn't want you to have any, or I don't know. I'm just curious. I don't know anything about tummy tucks. A solution for him may be to date other women who have also lost a lot of weight. Right. Okay. So here's what I think, right? One, I think that this person is being extremely hard on themselves, but who am I? I don't have that reality, so I can't 100% relate, right? Two people, two experiences is hardly the end of the world. Two experiences, although maybe emotionally draining and maybe even potentially traumatic, two people do not define the rest of the dating field. Okay? Like, I think he needs to kind of settle down a bit about thinking he'll never date again based on who, like, his reaction, the reaction he got from just two people. Now, if he said, I've tried this with 50 different women and it's all the same, because I doubt if he widened the pool of experiences that they would all turn out exactly the same. But this is with not knowing what he looks like, right? I think that he dismissed a lot of options and didn't consider others. He was very dismissive of surgery because of finances. He was dismissive of, he was dismissive of therapy, as in, like, that's not going to help me get laid. I beg to differ, right? Because hear me out on this. This is something that I've had to struggle with, right? With being obese for most of my life. Your confidence level in your own body can attract the person to you or turn them off, right? So, for example, if you're ready to sleep with someone and they're ready to sleep with you, right? And you're not confident in your body, whether you're obese, whether you have loose skin, whether you're underweight, whether you have no muscle, whether you feel like you're too muscular, whether you have different color toned skins, like when you take your clothes off, whether you have uneven boobs, whether you have scars, physical scars, whatever it is. If you are self-conscious about that stuff and it's not talked about in advance, it's going to be so obvious when it's time to be intimate. It's going to be incredibly obvious, right? Now, that can make the situation awkward, right? Because how many times have people been in situations, y'all can tell me yes or no, but how many times have y'all been in situations where it's time to be intimate and it could be a man or a woman? You don't want to take your shirt off, or you don't want to turn the lights on, or the lights have to be off first. So we go through these things even before the weight loss. So what I'm getting at is, if he's like the compression shirt thing, right? You're being intimate and the person is confident taking their clothes off, but you're not. They're going to be wondering why, right? And you're not really giving them an answer because you haven't talked about it in advance. So here's my response on disclosure. I think you should disclose, but not in the sense that, like, I have a secret to tell you. I think it's something that should come up. I think it is something that should come up, not because the other person is entitled to that information about your body, but because if you really want to be intimate with this person and you think there's a good chance that it's going to throw the vibe off, you should prepare them for it. I don't think there's anything wrong with that. I don't think there's anything wrong with being like, I've lost 100 pounds. Have you ever been with a person that was bigger, or have you ever been with a person that's lost a significant amount of weight? What do you think about, significant weight loss? Or what do you think about loose skin? What if the person doesn't know what loose skin looks like? You know what I mean? Like, what if they don't know? What if they don't know? So it's maybe potentially before even being intimate, they could be prepared. And then this, like, I know it can be hurtful if a person sees your body and decides they're not interested anymore, but we live in the real world. Like, so that doesn't make them a bad person. That doesn't make them shallow. Now, what is shallow is if you've been with a person for 30 years and their body changes and suddenly you're like, I can't get with it. That can come off as shallow. But if you don't know a person and there's something about your body that you're not into that's not immediately obvious, that doesn't make you a shallow person. So why not soften the blow by having a conversation about it in advance? Maybe before, like, y'all even get to the point of intimacy, what if you show them pictures or something like that? I don't think that's the worst thing in the world. I'm not saying people have to do that, but he's not even considering that. He never even considered disclosing. He never talked about disclosing. He never talked about being with another person that has either been with the person that has lost significant weight or lost significant weight themselves. There's a lot of options that he did not consider because he's too busy feeling sorry for himself. I'm gonna just keep it real and say it. I get that he's sad. I get that it's a sad situation. I get that he's frustrated, maybe sexually frustrated, but he's not thinking clearly. And he's looking for answers. So I definitely want to get into some of the responses that he got. But my take on this is, when it comes to dating, right? When it comes to meeting somebody new and you have been through a significant amount of weight loss and your experience has been that people are taken aback by it, or you don't know if people are going to be taken aback by it, I think it should be a conversation. That's my stance. I think it should be a conversation. So you can, before it gets awkward, right? Like they're ready to get it in, or you're ready to get it in, and you're like, no, my shirt. Because I've been in that position as a girl that's always had a stomach and back fat and not want to take my bra off because they're not perky. Sidebar. Look how nice that Skims bra blends. That is so, look at that, guys. Like if I hit a certain angle, you'd never know it was there. You'd never know. But anyway, so it's like I've been there. I know what that feels like. You don't want to take your bra off, or you don't want to take your shirt off, or like I know what that feels like. But then again, and it's going to be obvious to the person. Now, some people may be oblivious, like, I don't know what's wrong. Come on, come on, come on. And it's just like, no, right? Like, no shirt. Like, shirt stays on. You know what I mean? Because you're self conscious. But now, I'm not saying someone has to be super confident about their loose skin, but I think we should be aware that if we're self conscious about it, it's going to be obvious. So, why not talk about it? Why not talk about it? I don't know. If you're going to be intimate with somebody else and let your bodies touch, you should be willing to talk about your bodies in advance. Like, why not? Okay, so I'm going to get caught up on some of y'all's comments. So I left off at MVP. A solution may be for him to date other women who have also lost a lot of weight and deal with loose skin, or date women that are familiar with that, right? Like, because imagine he finds a nurse that's dealt with patients that have loose skin, and if they're not bothered by it. Imagine he found a personal trainer that has dealt with people that have loose skin and they're not bothered by it. Imagine he finds a person that had a partner that used to be obese, had loose skin, and they weren't bothered by it, even though it never got resolved. Or the person had loose skin and then they ultimately got surgery and it was fine. Like, there's a lot of things he's not considering here. That's a good suggestion for him. Yes. No, I qualify for the best result. You want to have the least amount of visceral fat possible. Okay, give me his number. He's probably dating outside of his league. What would be outside of his league? What would that mean? What would that look like? So my consult is to go over everything, decide on an extended tummy tuck or complete lower body lift, and go over pre-op and schedule surgery. Okay. Man, if the 600-pound people get laid on the regular, this dude will be fine. That's one way to look at it. That is actually a good way to look at it. Like, he's acting like it's the end of the world over two people, and I'm just like, I don't know. Jen, I wondered about that too. Is he going after women without imperfections, but hoping they will accept this? I don't know. I don't know. I don't know how I feel about that. I stopped caring when I was at my worst last year because I didn't have it in me to even care. Now I'm like, whatever. Um, aren't you low key catfishing to spring that on them right before the act? Ooh. Not sure if you saw my comment, but I shared info regarding my lumpectomy with my husband before we were married, so he wouldn't be shocked when he saw my breasts. Oh, lumpectomy. Oh, okay. No, I didn't see that. Some StreamYard doesn't always show me all of it doesn't show me all of the comments. But okay. I am surprised by how many people have confided in me that they have had weight loss surgery. I really didn't need to know. Okay. So you're not bothered by like you wouldn't feel like somebody needed to disclose their skin to you. Okay, bye Delilah. Have a good night. It should be discussed before you get to the point. Not waiting till right before. I shared early on before we were intimate. Not sure if that was clear. That was the right way to go about it. That's what I'm saying. Like, if I had something about my body that I thought might take people back, I think that I would share it. Now, the whole being overweight thing, clearly they can see that through my clothes. So that was the me thing, right? Like, it wasn't like I had to disclose, like, hey, I'm actually like obese. They could see that through my clothes. So they clearly were already attracted to me. But I didn't like the way that I felt fully nude. You know what I mean? So that was a thing. But if they can't see what they need to see to make an informed decision, I don't think it's shallow. I really don't. Now, how they react to it in the moment can be very shallow. It can be. I have a question for you guys. Oh no, let me add this back because I want to read the comments. I just thought of something. Reactions in the moment. Let's talk about reactions in the moment. Because most of the people said that they still went through with the sex, but they were horrified. That's kind of uncomfortable because if you notice that they were horrified, why did you still have sex with them? Yes, it can be. It very much so can be. But what do y'all think about this question? Because he's very clear that these people were horrified, and he's not the only one to say this. A lot of threads that I started to read would say that, like, "Oh my god, they were mortified. Oh my god, they were horrified. Oh my god, I never heard from them again." Okay, they're never hearing from them again is the after effect. But if you notice in the moment that they are visibly uncomfortable, why would you still have sex with them? Why would you proceed like because this goes for both parties, right? If there was okay, if there was something about a person's body that switched my feelings about being intimate with them in a second, right? We would have to stop. We would have to stop because clearly I'm uncomfortable. Now, if it was the opposite, if somebody reacted in such a way, like I could see it on their face or in their body language, that they're something about my body they're just not into, we would have to stop because they're clearly uncomfortable. We would have to stop. It ain't that serious to just have sex because you've already gotten started. It's not that serious. Now, why wouldn't they have gotten up and bounced? The person with the loose skin or the person reacting to it? I think both parties should stop in that moment. If something is taking you aback that you weren't prepared for, not to, no, that's going to be a bad example. Forget it. But you know, okay, let me use a lighter example, right? Okay, so we know that sometimes men have been in situations, and I can flip it the other way as well. But we know that sometimes men have been in situations where they have been catfished, right? So they meet a woman, she has a face full of makeup. I'm not anti-wig or weave, but she has a wig, right? And they're attracted to her. Typically, they don't realize what's underneath until after the act. But what if she takes her hair off and wipes her makeup off before the act? And that is not the person you thought you were attracted to. I don't think you should have sex with them. I don't think you should have sex with them. I don't. If something changes that quickly, you don't owe this person anything. Like you don't owe them your body. I don't think you should have sex with them, man or woman. I don't think you should have sex with them. I think you should like slow down in a moment and reconsider. That's how I feel. I think it's weird that these people know that the other person is visibly uncomfortable, yet both people decide to continue on and then you just ghost them. I think they are overreacting, to be honest. I don't know. There is a part of me that feels like I don't think I think he's being unreasonable, but I understand why, right? Um, like I said, there are just some things that he hasn't considered, but I can imagine that that's a hard position to be in. Maybe they were the one that felt mortified, right? Maybe they're projecting. Maybe they're projecting. Like, was it all in his head? I doubt it was all in his head, but I can imagine a good portion of it was like because he did say he never heard from them again, so clearly something was off. But it's like I don't know. I feel like people should talk about it. Her vagina didn't change. Yeah, but like then like if he's clearly like jump scare and still wants to have sex with her, she should be the one that stops it. It's like, are you okay? Like Because who wouldn't be thrown off by that? Like she has a wig and she has makeup, and then she just takes it off, and it's like let's say she doesn't have a lot of hair or something. I don't know. Like let's say it's not done underneath or something like that, or her makeup, she looks like a completely different person when she wipes it off. Or let's say, like, I'm sorry, I'm gonna do it, whatever. Let's say it's the other way around, and I'm about to sleep with somebody, and he has a hairline, right? He has a hairline. If he hops in that shower and comes out, and all of this is washed away, and his hairline is back here, not that I'm judging if your hair is that way, but I would need to know that in advance because I was attracted based on what I saw initially. So if you come out of the shower right before we're about to get intimate, and what if I met you at the pool and suddenly your abs are washed off because you just got out the shower, or like things that seem really superficial, but we can't act like we're not attracted to people based on their looks. You know what I mean? So I'm gonna be like, no, you, because I'm an idiot. I'm gonna be like, no, you fucking did. Now you know that's. Did you just wash your hairline off in the shower? Boy, you know, like I'm an idiot, but I'm just saying, like these things happen. These things happen. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. But with the loose skin thing, I don't think that it's okay. I don't think that one, the person with the loose skin has to be super proud of it and super confident about it if they're not. But I also don't think like I think there should be a little bit of like responsibility going into the situation, knowing that people may be caught off guard. Takes her leg off. I didn't want to say it, Jen. I didn't want to say it. Say it, Jen. I said it was going to be a bad example, but that was exactly what I was thinking. Like, I don't want to be an asshole, but I was thinking it like, okay, so like, what if you meet a person and y'all about to get it in and they pop their leg off? I'm not making fun of disabilities. I'm not saying those people don't deserve sex and love and all of that. I'm just saying that can be jarring in the moment if we haven't had a conversation about that disability. That if I'm not prepared, that can be jarring in the moment. If I come in a room and your leg is sitting on the other side of the room, that can be that can be shocking. That can be shocking. It can be shocking. I didn't want to say it. Jen said it. Maybe it's just me, but I've known tons of guys who would continue with the sex regardless of whether they were physically attracted to the person or not. Yeah, then they're stupid. But what I'm saying is if the other person notices that something is off, why would they continue? Right. So if I'm the one with the loose skin and I'm gonna sleep with a man, and visibly he is distraught by my loose skin, but he wants to continue anyway, we are not having sex. At that point, if you get ghosted, that is your fault because you clearly saw that he was taken aback by your loose skin or your lack of hair or your missing leg or whatever. Why would you continue? Now, if they show no emotion, like if they seem completely unbothered by it, then go with the flow. But if they're like I said, the context is these people in these posts say that they can tell that the other person, whether it's a man or a woman, they can tell that the other person is shocked by their skin. They can tell that they're uncomfortable. They can tell that they're what they would describe as disgusted or mortified or whatever, horrified. So if you can see that, why would you, as the person with the loose skin or whatever your situation is, why would you want to continue having sex with that person if you see that they're taken aback? Why would you want to continue? That's weird. Um, or a waist trainer, right? Okay, a waist trainer. What if like if I have on a waist trainer and I meet a guy and we're you know every time we get together I got on a waist trainer and then we finally decide to sleep together and I take off my waist trainer and he's like, I'm not sleeping with him. Now that I mislead him with the waist trainer, yes. But once I gave him the reveal, if he look a little off and he's not like num 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 num, like if he's not like trying to give me num nums, I'm gonna be like, you know what? Let's just. It's okay if you're not into it. It's okay. I was with a guy once, and at the height of intimacy, he took off his shoes, and I'm Pats. I dig Pats. Pat is real. I dig Pat. Yeah, that would mess me up if I didn't know ahead of time. Yeah. So that's my take on it. So we're gonna read some of his comments, some of his responses. He's made it clear what he doesn't want to hear, but let's see if people paid attention. Oh, okay. I got your email, Sydney. I don't know if I can play that on the channel, so I'm not going to, but I'll watch that when I get off of here. Okay, so we are approaching 2 hours. So let's get into some of the comments on this thread. Okay. Um, okay. Hold on. Sounds like you have enough loose skin that you might be able to get a doctor to sign off on it being medically necessary and having it covered by insurance, assuming you have coverage. Hold on. Um, but it's rough, but it's a rough goal. Sorry to hear your struggles. Try that. I love NHS, but they're so stingy with that. Go back to the docs. Tell them it's affecting you mentally. Got to push when it comes to the NHS. Um, um, oh, he's in the UK. Not sure how possible it is for you, but have you considered you leaving the UK? That's what I'm talking about. You better catch a flight, a train, or something, a plane. Like you better catch something. Have you considered leaving the UK for surgery? Like you said, it does involve time off work, but not 6 weeks unless you have a very strenuous job. If your job isn't physical labor, it's more like 1 to 2 weeks. I'm not sure if that's true. There are plenty of countries in Eastern Europe with very talented doctors, and they can do it for a hell of a lot less than 10K, like less than half. Absolutely. Again, I acknowledge it just may not be possible right now or ever for a variety of reasons, but just pointing out that there may be ways to do it for less than 10K and 6 weeks off of work if that's the assumption you're basing your inability off of. I agree with this comment. I agree with this comment. I do. I agree with this comment. Like you need to leave you leave. And I get that it might not be financially feasible at this moment, right? But maybe take a like I feel like this person can still date and they just need to disclose so that they don't have that shocking thing in the moment. Or maybe try a dating profile where you already let people know you've lost a lot of weight and you're looking for someone that has been through that or has dated someone that has been through that, something like that. But I agree with this person. Jen says, I'm assuming these people are pretty bad off to write a Reddit post. My butt is a little saggy, but I'm not gonna write a Reddit post about it. My butt's saggy, but I still got a butt, but it's flat. This discussion on people revealing their true selves and bodies made me think of a movie scene from a movie, I'm Gonna Get You Sucker. Oh, okay. Some people crave physical contact and even a moment of connection with another person. We don't know how long he's gone without ever having a relationship. Easy to say I wouldn't go through with sex. No, wait, okay, hold on. Some people crave physical contact and even a moment of connection with another person. We don't know how long he's gone without ever having a relationship. Easy to say I wouldn't go through with the sex. Kim, I'm going to leave your comment on the screen. I'm going to scroll all the way back. Okay? I'm going to scroll all the way back. Okay, so all right. Since having lost the weight, I've had sex with 2 women. One was visibly horrified, his description, by how I looked, despite saying she'd be okay with it. If I go to have intimacy is supposed to be a beautiful, wonderful thing. If I go to be intimate with a person and they have a look of horror, think about what it looks like to be afraid. That's what horror means. If I go to be intimate with a person and the sight of my body scares them, I'm not sleeping with them. Respectfully. Like, and I'm particularly love you, Kim, but I'm particularly picking on this comment because I think we need to okay, one, I'm a little biased. I get sensitive about I get sensitive about stuff like this because oftentimes when it comes to sexual encounters, no matter how sometimes people are in situations where they clearly don't want to go through with it, yet they do anyway, right? So to me, If the woman is scared of how you look, right? He might be being dramatic with the whole horrified thing, but that is how he felt. He felt he got a look of horror. He felt that she was afraid of his body. Why would you still be intimate with that person? And he said, despite her saying she was okay with it, but you felt differently. I think it was both of their responsibilities. One, I think it was her responsibility to say, and I see your comment saying, you either. So I think it was her responsibility to say, I'm no longer comfortable with this. And I think it was his responsibility to say, I see that you're uncomfortable. It's okay. We don't have to do this. It is not that I don't give a fuck how long it's been since you've been intimate. So this is not necessarily for you, Kim. This is for people that might be listening. For anybody that can hear my voice, I don't give a shit how long it has been. If a person is afraid going into a sex act with you, don't do it. I don't give a fuck what comes out of their mouth. Don't do it. Do not do it. That goes for women. That goes for men. If you look at a person's face and they look afraid, uncomfortable, concerned, iffy, do not do it. And that is how I feel. That's just how I feel. So to clarify, Kim, that's why I said that, right? So when you say it's easy to say you wouldn't go through with the sex, yes, it is easy because I don't want to have a sex with a person that's afraid of my body. I don't want to have sex with a person that's afraid of anything in the moment, period. If you're not aroused, sexually excited, or whatever, I don't give a damn what men choose to do, whether they're attracted or not. Like I said, if he looks like, like if he looks like that, you can't touch me. I don't care what he has, what type of mental gymnastics he has to do to get himself through it. If you look disgusted to me about me, you cannot touch me. That's how I feel. And I feel like that's the responsible thing to do. Nobody should be sleeping with people that seem afraid. You know what I mean? Maybe he's being dramatic about the afraid part, but clearly, whatever it was some level of discomfort and he noticed it. Now, he may be being dramatic about the level, but there should be no discomfort, right? Or very minimal, right? Now, if a person is uncomfortable with their own body, that's different. You know, like you can work through that in the moment. You both can make a choice to continue. But they're uncomfortable with you, that's to me, that's a no-go. To me, that's a no-go. Um, I've never been that lonely. I don't I think that we should prioritize it. Okay, is being lonely worth having that experience though, right? Because I think he would have been able to walk with his head held higher had they not been intimate, but it hurt more because they went through with the intimacy and she pretended to be okay with it, but clearly she wasn't because she never called him again, or according to him. So I think his head would have been held higher had in that moment he just said, you know what? Clearly this is uncomfortable. Let's just not. I'm sorry I didn't tell you in advance. Or like maybe he doesn't necessarily need to apologize. Like it's my body. If you don't like it, we don't got to do this. But he put himself in a bad position by continuing through with it. I guess that means he told her prior to their being intimate, but the reality of seeing it freaked her out. I don't see where it says he told her. It says one was visibly horrified by how I look, despite saying, oh, she'd be okay with it. Okay, I see what you mean. Despite saying she would be okay with it. Okay. So my point still stands. Even if she told you in advance that she would be, but then she got in the moment and she was like knuckle biting, just let it go. She'd be like, okay, maybe you're not as okay as you thought you were gonna be. Kim says, okay, says God at me either, but I've never been lonely like that. It's heartbreaking. It is heartbreaking, but I don't think that's an excuse. I don't think that's an excuse. You can be intimate without being without entering a person or letting them enter you. Like it could have been like, you know what? Let's take a step back. Maybe we revisit at a different time. I'm not saying that's sexy in the moment, but it's like however you get through it, like let's go sit outside and talk. Let's go cuddle on the couch. Let's go do something else intimate because clearly we're not ready for this. Like loneliness doesn't entitle you to sex. That's how I feel. Loneliness does not entitle you to sex. Okay, so let's see what other answers people have. So I like the answer about leaving the UK. Honestly, I hate that they won't. I've got to lose a similar amount of weight. Oh, okay, okay. Somebody's relating. I know it hurts in today's hookup culture. Two women ghosting you is kind of the norm, regardless of loose skin. Give dating a few more chances at least. I agree with this one as well. I agree with this one as well. I think he's overreacting about the two women. Ghosting is gonna happen no matter what. Like, or it's potential like you there's a potential for ghosting no matter what. That's actually a very good point. Man, dating in your 30s is so hard, but if normal attractive men get ghosted, what hope do I have with my weird melted candle body? He's really doing a good job feeling bad for himself. And that tells me he doesn't really want help because someone is giving him decent answers. Like people are giving him decent answers. And his response is just they're like, what hope is there? He doesn't want to be helped. Not really. Like he wants I don't know. I'm not really sure what he wants. I don't think you're hopeless, to be honest. There are a lot of cool women out there who would legitimately won't care. I know that seems far-fetched, but it's true. My friend with dwarfism married a smoking hot babe, and he thought he'd never find a woman who would embrace his unique circumstances. Dating in your 30s is definitely a shit show, though, no doubt. I don't envy you. I just encourage you not to give up. Until or if you ever have surgery, put it up in front of your date. Okay, so like I didn't read through these, I didn't proofread these, but like I even thought of the dating profile thing. Put it up front in your dating profile. Avoid everyone who's got something against it, so you're not wasting your time. I 1000% agree with that. Medical tourism. You can probably get skin surgery cheaper elsewhere, but you'll have to do research. Get into full body latex suit. Play and never take it off. What the fuck is full body latex suit? Hi, Michelle. Hi, thank you for tuning in. What is a full body latex suit? That doesn't sound fun. Doesn't sound fun at all. Hi, as a single woman wanting to lose weight, I don't really have any good advice for you. I just want you to know that you're not alone with not feeling attractive enough. I do too, if that brings you any comfort. Now, this person is like, hey, I'm in the same boat. You don't think he can go find a person like this in the world that's like, hey, I'm trying to lose weight too. Hey, I lost weight too. He doesn't really want help. I don't think so. Um, okay. It says again, please don't let me hold you back. Being slim is better. People found me unattractive when I was obese. People found me unattractive when I was obese. They find me unattractive now, but only with my clothes off. Also, I can run, lift weights, blah 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 blah. Just having to let go of the fantasy that losing weight will help me meet someone, and that's a painful thing to come to terms with. I empathize with that. Losing weight has probably still helped you in a way that you've changed your life. The dedication is attractive. Having a gym buddy is fun too. I wish you luck in your search, friend. This comment is so relatable. My advice is just to keep going. You have come so far already. Um, Hard truth is most people are superficial, especially in the early stages of dating. And you likely will find it difficult if you're having sex after a few dates, as the sex is based mainly on physical attraction. That is true. No judgment on casual hookups. Maybe try building more meaningful connections before it jumps to sex. Right. We don't know how long he knew these people before they decided to have sex. Let them get to know your journey, struggles, triumphs, and build that relationship. I can tell you I've been with my partner for 14 years, and at this point, I couldn't give a damn what he looks like, as our relationship is deeper than that. Respectful. Goes the same the other way too. He's loved me at my heaviest and at my lightest, and the loose skin is an issue for me too. Wonderful comment. Wonderful comment. Okay. Could you join a local weight loss support group? That's a good way to find someone that's relatable. Allow watchers, or go to a place like IRL that has other people who have also experienced dramatic weight loss and loose skin. Plenty of women have loose skin too. No, don't do it. No, 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 no. Dennis, the menace. Hold on, guys. He's gonna knock this plate clean off of this counter. Hold on. He was preparing himself for his leap up on the counter, and there was a plate up there, and he would have knocked it right off. Okay, Dennis the Menace. So I think that a weight loss group would be a good idea, honestly, because you can find other people that are relatable. So that's the end of that Reddit thread. There were many more, some from women. Now, some were from women. Now he got up on the counter. Now that the plate is gone, it's kind of like he knew not to jump on top of the plate. Hey, can you please get down? Kitty Witty. Hello, Dennis, sir. Um. Okay, hold on. I'm sorry. Man, these cats are super active. I've had to stop this cat from like walking on top of the stove while it's hot. Like he's you want to get picked up? I wish I could pick him up. Um, I mean I can, but he's gonna want to get right back down. But anyway, all right. Sorry for yelling in you guys' ears. So I think that that was an interesting post. It was sad, but it wasn't. It had a lot of good information and also like it was a good it was good to talk about that some of that stuff, right? Because not all of us are in that position, but some of us will be. That's like black latex. Exactly what it sounds like. It's like putting your body inside of a glove and should take some advice. Okay, someone really hurt him, but he needs therapy and should take some advice. Okay. I'm going to Google it. I'm just curious. I really need to know. Full body latex. That sounds like something from American Horror Story. That's exactly what it is. Is that a viable answer for you guys? The full body latex? No, I don't think that's a good answer. I mean, sure, but I don't think that's a good answer. I don't know. But I would say, in conclusion, it's a real issue that people deal with, both men and women. Those that feel the need to, well, not feel the need, but those that are the ones with the loose skin, experiencing people being shocked by it, and those that are on the other end and have to deal with the shock, right? I think that I don't want to sound shallow, but I think that we kid ourselves into thinking that people aren't superficial. Like somebody brought up a very good point about like sleeping with people early on in dating, which is not we're not judging about that, but it's like the less of a rapport you have with a person, the more, well, I'll say the more of a rapport you have with a person or more of a connection, the more we can like get past certain things. Sounds kinky. You want to see it? I'm gonna show it to you. I'm gonna make your night. I'm gonna make your night. I'm gonna make your night. I'm gonna make your night, Holly. I'm just gonna do it. Why not? Why not? Look at this. This is what it is. This is what it is. This is what you guys are into. This is what you guys getting down with. Nicole, you want a black one, Nicole? Is this what we getting down with? Damn the surgery. Get you one of these. Wow, that is wow. Wow. I don't think is that the same? That's not the same thing. I don't know what that is. That's like a balloon. That didn't look right. I don't know. Jen, is this what we're doing? Jen Blue? I don't know. All right. Jen Nicole said heck no. I'm just saying it was put out there as an option. Okay, so so we're screwed. I don't think so. Like that wasn't my takeaway. Like, but then again, I haven't gotten to my goal yet, so I don't know. Um, Jen, that's not my takeaway. Honestly, like my takeaway isn't that okay, like we're screwed. I don't see it that way. I see it as we need to be more realistic about a couple of things, right? One, we need to have more honest conversations about limiting and or mitigating loose skin, right? You may some people because it does depend on your genetics, your age, how long you've been overweight, all different types of stuff, right? Your method of weight loss, your speed of weight loss, all of these different things, right? It depends on so many factors. Maybe Hold on. Hold on, guys. Okay. Weird. The garage door just closed. Did I not close it when I came in? Ugh. Okay. Let me see. That's weird. I don't know about that. Anyway, okay, so surgery or school screw that's not my takeaway either, is what I'm saying, right? Like, so Jen is annoying. That's not exactly my takeaway. I think, okay, we need to get more, like, especially in the world of GLP-1s, where a lot of people are going to be losing a lot of weight. Like this amount of successful weight loss is unprecedented. At one time, like with such a large group of people, they have been studying weight loss for decades and couldn't narrow down the most successful path. And what they've recommended to people, eat less, move more, was the most unsuccessful path. So now that so many people are dealing with a level of success, there's going to be a lot of people dealing with the whole loose skin issue. And that could mean a couple of different things. That could mean that the dating pool of people with loose skin is going to expand. So you're kind of like, maybe you'll have a chance of, depending on what type of circles you run in, weight loss groups or your dating profile or whatever, you might have more chances of running into people that aren't in position that you're in, so you can relate more. Or we need to have more conversations about, like, what we can do about the loose skin before we actually, like as we're losing the weight, right? Like, maybe we need a bit more education about effective weight loss that mitigates the loose skin. I don't think that's I think that that's something that we should consider, but just accepting it as an inevitability or not considering it until it's already here is how people keep ending up in this situation. I think we need to find the right person, but I would say that before, I would have said that before too. Um, Surgery or screwed, you would have said that. I forgot who made the bodysuit comment, but I would wear. I don't know, Michelle. Something about that material don't sit right with me. Some about that don't sit right with me. Some about that, like that material, Michelle, Nicole, Holly. If it was made out of this, I'm putting it on. But it wouldn't contour. Nah, if it was made out of this, it would show. I don't know. Maybe a couple of layers of this. I don't know, because this is really comfortable material. So if they could turn this into like shapewear, that's like full body. Maybe you need like the because we're talking about for sex, right? We're talking about for sex. So maybe you just have like that part carved out and you get to wear the full body suit. I don't know. The latex, I can't rock with the latex. I'm gonna have a scar, and whoever I'm with is gonna have to be okay with that. Would you disclose the scar, Nicole? Or would you kind of just let it rock? Like, you know, like, would you just, I don't know, like, trying to see if Tommy's watching before I share something. Um, I want to date in real life, so it's harder. We haven't been talking about real life dating. Oh, is it because I said the thing about the dating profile? Don't online doesn't online dating turn into real life? That's not real life dating because you're on a computer. Jen, are you being like the Reddit threader and making excuses? Okay, Jen, I'm about to pick on you. So, like, Jen, like, are you telling me you have no options? Because I find that hard to believe. Andrew says thank you all for the birthday wishes on the post, and I think he said it in the chat earlier. Jen, are you like, what's happening? Because are you just saying like you can't possibly feel but you can. So let's talk about it. You can, but okay, I'm about to say to you, you can't possibly feel. But do you really think like it's like surgery or whatever? Like it's just surgery or nothing? I don't see it that way. In my mind, but people meet on the internet and then meet in real life. I'm gonna let you have that one, Jen. I'm gonna let you have it. Um, I would tell them, I got the solution. Turn the lights off. That doesn't change the feeling of the loose skin. Looking at it might be one thing, but that doesn't change the feeling of it. Honestly, maybe somebody will invent some sort of like body wrap that contours and it's like seamless, like skin, like the super thin condoms that feel like you're not wearing a condom at all. Maybe somebody will make some sort of shapewear that feels like that only covers the midsection. Now that doesn't resolve the thighs and the arms, so maybe they'll create like different levels of shapewear. Like if you want arm coverage, like to the elbow and to the knee, but you have like the cutout for sex, and it's very thin, so it feels skin like, right? Like it's very thin. Um, make some nude shades, or this is a nude, right? Even though it's brown, make some skin color shades. Maybe somebody, I'm not saying that you have to wear that. I'm just saying like for people that are like, well, I would wear stuff, maybe they'll make some nice body contouring things that really snatch people in at the thigh and at the, because it's mostly at the thigh, the back, the abdomen, and the arm, right? You would tell them up front. I would too. I would too. If I had a scar or if I had severe loose skin, or uh I don't know. I would tell them. I would tell them. I would tell. I say I would tell them. Now, at what point do you tell them? That depends. That depends. When I go out, I'm a snatch size 4. When I'm naked, I'm not snatched anymore. How do you tell a guy that not what he's getting? Okay. Do y'all want to answer that question before we get out of here? I'm gonna leave Jen's comment on the screen. In fact, let me try out. I kind of want to try out this new YouTube feature. Okay. I meant to do this in advance, but I didn't because I'm a bad person. So don't get mad at me, guys. Um, I want to test out this new feature. Okay. All right. Oh, I gotta wait because they're only giving me a 15-minute countdown. Okay, so in about 10 minutes, I'm gonna set up a 15-minute timer to switch the stream to members only, because we've gotten through the bulk of the topic. So now getting into more like the nitty-gritty of individual people's experiences, I'm gonna let that be for members only. So if you're interested in becoming a member, I'll go ahead and share the link. But we're gonna be here public for like another 20 minutes, and I want to test out this new feature. I thought about it in advance, but I forgot to set it up. And I meant to have it go off at the 2 hour mark. So because I didn't give you guys a warning, I'm gonna have it switch over at 2.5 hours. So members, stick around. It might only be 3 or 4 of us in there, but it's fine. So while we have another 20 minutes left, let's go ahead and answer Jen's question. So let me set my alarm for 9. I actually have a call coming up at 9:32, so that would help. And this is to keep me from having to end the stream and start it over. Also, it keeps the stream from being 3 hours long, which is what I don't want. Okay, so 9:15. All right, so at 9:15, I'm gonna start a 15-minute timer, and then the stream will automatically, assuming YouTube's new feature works out, will automatically switch to members only. Okay, so Jet says, hold on. Let me get the link. 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 Jen says a snatch size 4, but when I take off my clothes, I'm not that. How do I address that? What do you guys think? What do you guys think? How would you address it? How would you address it? That's the link to become a member if anybody's interested. Um, good, because I got something juicy to say to the girls. I got a couple things to say too. That was the point of me like switching it to members only. So if you'd like to become a member, go ahead and click the link. All right. So let's go back to Jen's comment. All right. So honestly, the first answer that I have, I don't know how you tell them, but let's explore some answers. Okay. To be honest, in my mind, it depends on how quickly you're trying to have sex with this person. Because we can't like we're adults. It's not like we can't think about or talk about having sex. Now, the timeline in which you want to have sex is not really to be judged, not you, Jen, but like I'm speaking in general using Jen's comment as a launching pad. Thank you so much, MVP, for becoming a new member. Shout out to the new member, guys. Thank you so much, MVP. So to me, it depends, right? So if you want to have sex with someone overnight, then not you, Jen, but okay, hypothetically a person, right? Let's say a person is a snatch, they got on their waist trainer or whatever, and it's a snatch size 4, and they meet a guy and they want to, they want to kind of like have sex the same night or the next night or the week or whatever. In my mind, I'm still saying something. Because it's like if we're getting there, right? If we're getting to that point where we've decided we were going to be intimate, I personally think, but who knows? I've never been in a situation. I tend to be very candid. So I think that I would be blunt enough to say that like this thingy that I'm wearing is not coming off. That's if I wanted to keep wearing it, right? Or my shirt is staying on. And if they ask why, then I would tell them why. Like, you know what I mean? That's how I would feel. Now, if you want to be able to express yourself nude, then it's up to you to figure out if that person is cool with that or not, as far as like have they seen a person with loose skin before? So the more time in between you meeting the person and actually having sex with them, I would think the better, so it's easier to have that conversation. Because like if we just met at 8 and we about to smash at 2, in my mind, you ain't really got time to get all your clothes off anyway. Like y'all not even thinking about getting your clothes off. You're probably only getting like half your clothes off anyway, but I could be wrong. But if we're talking about we've been talking and dating for a couple of weeks and we've decided it's time, I would have hoped that the weight loss would have come up by that point. So it's like, I don't know if you've been in this position before, but I have this X, Y, and Z. And they could say, oh, I feel okay with that, or I don't. But if they said they do, and then it turns out in the moment, I don't know. There has to be some sort of like bridge if we're worried about shock factor. If we know loose skin can be a shock factor, like somebody taking off their leg, if we know that that can be a shock factor, there has to be some sort of bridge to get there. There has to be. Men are visual. Go back to men. They think they are getting one thing and it's not that. So tell them that. I mean, that like I'm not under. Am I missing it? Am I missing it, guys? Like, what do y'all think? This is why this will also be nice about being a member, doing a members only stream, because I can drop the link to the StreamYard, and if it's easier to just come up and talk versus type, you don't have to be on camera. You can do that as well. So I forgot to pin the link. Let me pin it. So for my members, if you want to come up and talk and leave your camera off, you can do that if it's easier than typing. So men are visual, so are women. Why do people say that men are visual as if women aren't either? I told y'all, if he got a hairline and he go in that bathroom and get out the shower and he has no more like hairline, I'm gonna be taken aback because I'm visual and I'm vain. Like I'm gonna like attraction is visual. When are we talking about weight loss on a date? When you decide to bring it up? Like I said, if the weight loss, the loose skin only matters if you ever want to have sex with the person, right? If you're asexual and you never want to have sex with them, or you never want them to see you nude, then there's no reason to ever talk about it. To me, but y'all can feel free to push back. But if you ever want to have sex with the person, depending on the time from the time you meet them to the time you have sex with them, depending on how long that takes, I don't know. Jen is 46. When are we talking about weight loss on a date? Okay. Sidebar really quickly. Okay. So members only. The stream is going to switch to members only in the next 15 minutes. This is a new YouTube feature, so I don't know how it's going to look, but I think the stream for those of you that are not members is just going to end. So while we're still here, thank you everybody for watching. If you haven't, make sure you like and subscribe. And if you have any topic ideas that you'd like me to cover as far as dating and sex with weight loss, right? Not just dating and sex, but in particular when it comes to weight loss and how that changes your experience in the dating field or in the bedroom, then you can email me at vanity. Why do I always mess this up? Okay. You can email me at vanityreigns@gmail.com. I would probably find a way to tell them kind of in a joking but blunt manner, as that's my personality. I would tell them when I could see where things were heading. That's what I'm saying, right? Because depending on how long you date, there's a time when you're not talking about sex at all. But to me, once intimacy comes up, like, we're adults here. Y'all don't talk about sex before having it. Are y'all just like going with the flow and then like one thing leads to another? I mean, that's fine. I've been there, but like the older I get, the more the topic of sex comes up. Like, have y'all not talked like when you're dating, you don't talk with people about their own personal sexual experiences or what they like and don't like? Not like a questionnaire, but y'all don't like talk openly about sex when you're dating? I do. Is that weird? Am I just young? Is that a young people thing? Or because Jen be acting like she old and she not. So it's like, I really don't think it's my age. Maybe it's my personality, but like, I don't know. I don't know. Jen, I agree with Vanity. She's hitting all the points. I was just typing. Jen, I guarantee you're more snatched than you think. Exactly. I did. I'm 55. So I don't want to make it seem like her feelings are invalid, just like the person that created the Reddit post. But I think that Jen is approaching it as if talking about your weight or weight loss or skin to a new person is like off the table. I agree with all that. We aren't talking about our deflated boobs. I'm very self-conscious about that. Like, if I sit up straight, it looks less obvious. And plus I have a bra, but when I take my bra off, maybe I'll take my bra off and put on a shirt for the members so y'all can see. And I still need to try on the Skims because I hadn't tried it on yet. It's been moving around the state in my luggage, but I haven't taken it out. So I'm very self-conscious about my boobs, right? Like, even before they were deflated, I wouldn't take my bra off. So, I mean, now I don't care because I've been in a relationship for so long, but it's like, it's different. Like, to me, okay, we talk about men being superficial and visual and all of that, right? So we can assume that some men, and it would depend on their age range too, probably, whether or not they have kids, because then they've probably been with a woman whose breasts have changed. But it's like, okay, so you could think, no, I think women know that based on like this area here that my boobs aren't perky. Women would know that, right? But men would probably just be looking at it like, oh, her breasts sit up. And then I take on my bra and they're like right here. Like these turn like this. So it's like, could that be thrown off? Sure. But I don't feel the need to disclose that, right? That's just kind of natural. In a way that loose skin is natural, but I think that loose skin is less less like abundant. Like, it's not something that you would come across on a regular basis. Different shapes and sizes of titties you come across, like men that are sexually active, I think, unless they have a particular type, are going to come across that on a regular basis. So to me, back to the question of like, not question, but back to the point of like, this one, when I go out, I'm a snatch size 4. When I'm naked, I'm not snatched anymore. That's everybody, Jen. Like, not to be dismissive of like what you're talking about, but like, Like, maybe this is not the best example, but right? Like, all of this is like part of my stomach is in my pants. You know what I mean? So it's like I'll do it for the members. I'll do the demonstration for the members to show y'all exactly what I'm talking about. But it's like that's not unique to skin. But I get what you mean, right? Like I understand what you mean, but it's just like, so talk about it. um, I don't know. I still think the answer is talk about it. Sex and body image are two different things. What does that even mean, Jen? Right. Loose skin is not expected. Sagging breast is more common. That's a better way to put what I was trying to say. Sex and body image are two different things. I don't even know what you mean. Like, obviously, but like, what are you getting at with that? Um, I mean, body image, whose body image though? Like, how, like your body image, like you looking at your own image or somebody else looking at it, right? Because body image is a part of attraction. So people are attracted to what they're attracted to. Um, when you're with someone for a long time, there's more wiggle room on things changing about your body. But okay, let me back up because it's not like I don't understand what you're saying, right? Because I gave the example about the waist trainer before. So not to say you wear one, but I understand like whatever, however you're dressing, everything looks together. But you're saying when you get naked, that's not the case. But to me, it's kind of hard because I feel that way being overweight too, right? Like I can get very Coke bottle E, bottle S, bottle ish. I can be very Coke shaped depending on what I'm wearing, right? And then like even my butt, a better example, my butt in certain clothes looks very shapely or from certain angles, but I take my clothes off and it's nothing like that. Do I feel the need to have a conversation about that in advance? No. But again, just like the boob thing, I think that's more common than the skin thing. So, um, okay, you can talk about sex with the man you're dating. You're not going to talk about your insecurities of your body with the man you're dating, not boyfriend. We need to define dating. We need to define dating then because okay, m- maybe it depends on why a person is dating then, like what they're looking for because we need to define dating because in my mind I'm like if I'm getting to know you, my insecurities are going to come up at some point. I'm not necessarily saying they would come up before sex, but they're going to come up at some point. What are we defining as dating? A man asks you out for a cup of coffee. Should you disclose your loose skin? I don't see a reason to. You don't even know if you want to have sex with this person yet. Or maybe you do know, but like y'all are not even there yet. Um, dating, seeing occasionally, I guess. But at what point are we deciding to be because the point is to get like the point is the loose skin doesn't matter, like I said, if you're never gonna sleep with the person, right? Because this is all about them seeing the skin. So I guess it would depend on what. Hello, I got kicked into another dimension. I'm sorry. I don't know what happened. I'm glad you're back though. Um, okay. So I don't know. Uh you're not gonna talk about your insecurities of your body with the man you're dating. No. Not okay, like if I met him a week ago, probably not. Okay, I guess I'm having a problem. Like, I guess my mind is like defaulting to longevity because when I think about maybe I can't relate because I haven't casually dated, right? Like I've always dated. Right, right. Like that's what I'm getting to, Nicole. Like you're not looking for something serious because I'm thinking of this from like the viewpoint of longevity, right? So I'm assuming we're getting close, we're getting to know each other, we're getting to know our sensitive parts. So not looking for something serious, then it shouldn't matter when you tell them because you don't care if they stick around or not. It shouldn't matter when you tell them. It shouldn't matter. Like I said, it shouldn't matter. Because if you tell them and they're like, I don't know about that, and they're not interested, then it's like, okay, well, I wasn't looking for anything serious anyway. And I'm not saying that to be to be shallow or cold about it, but it's like if you're not looking for something serious, that changes things. Not to say that people have to date to look for something serious. I'm looking, he could be dating 6 women. I think I feel, does anybody feel like Jen is moving the goalposts here? Or is it me? Like, is she moving the goalposts or is it like, is she clarifying? Because I feel like the goalpost is being moved a little different. Like, it's being moved. Um, Michelle says, I will tell them about the skin, whether saying or not. I would expect the same thing from a person I am getting to know. That's what I'm saying. I because I would want them to disclose. Remember the image we looked at of the man, right? Like I would want that to be disclosed, whether we're serious or not. Jen, I think the conversation needs to come up at the point you're considering intimacy with the person before you actually get intimate. I right. So that's what I'm saying. Like I get if y'all just met that same night and it's kind of like, oh, at what point do you bring it up? But assuming we're not talking about same day sex, if you're just kind of like casually, occasionally hooking up with this person or something like that, whenever y'all decide to get to the point of intimacy, I think that's the appropriate time to bring it up. I don't see anything wrong with bringing it up sooner, but it's like, okay, so I've had like, okay, so I've lost because I'm not gonna lie, I'm not gonna lie. If I'm dating somebody, it's not gonna take me long to tell them I lost 100 pounds because I'm gonna want to brag on it a little bit. So that's for one. It's not going to take me long to mention that I lost 100 pounds. And I just kind of naturally feel like from there, if they're interested enough, we can get to the skin, right? Like, I've lost 100 pounds. How'd you do it? What's that's like? What was you like? If they're interested enough, and it doesn't even take years of dating for this to happen or months, but I think I would bring up the weight loss first. And if they just like, oh, that's cool. So what you like to do on the weekend? Then it's like, okay. Then if we cut into the chase about it, we cut into the chase. But if they're interested, I think it's easier to kind of get into that conversation. And then you can kind of get a feel if they've been in that position before or if they haven't. Like, okay, so because what gets what I'm not understanding, it's like, what are y'all talking about on dates? Men are different out here these days. I hear that a lot. But like, what do y'all not like? Because Jen, you distinguish between online dating and real life dating as if they're not related. So it's like, okay, so if a real life date is that much more serious, what are y'all talking about? Not yourselves? Like, what do you talk about on a date? What are you talking about? It's our getting to know you conversation. I would mention that I have lost a significant amount of weight and then see where the conversation goes from there. That's exactly what I'm saying. How are you not talking about your weight loss unless you want them, not you, Jen, but unless a person doesn't want that to come up and you want them to think you've always been thin? I want people to know I've lost 100 pounds. I don't want to be defined by it, but I do want people to know because I want people to know I got a fat girl brain. So if I have moments that make me look a certain way, like if I look at myself and I still see like, okay, I look a little fat in these jeans, like I kind of want you to know where that comes from. Or if I don't participate in certain activities or don't eat certain meals, like whatever it is, like, or I just feel really good about my body, I want to be able to say that I lost 100 pounds. So like I said, the person is either interested in that conversation or they are not. They're either interested in or they're either interested in it or they are not. Um, so I don't know.